Hello everyone, and welcome to my new channel. I've named it Chollima Rising, and it has to do with the history, culture, and current affairs of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, otherwise known as the DPRK or North Korea. And my name is Leon Allen Davis. And I became interested in North Korea in the early fall, sometime in there in 2012, when I was cruising around on YouTube looking for something and ran across a musical group with the funny name of the Murong Band. And I was intrigued. 11 drop-dead gorgeous young ladies playing beautiful music, and I was stunned when I found out that it was from North Korea. Okay, this is coming out of North Korea? You're kidding me. That was something I had not expected. And one particular young woman that I saw, the leader of the group, first violin, and the leader, Sianu Hyang-Wee. And when I first saw her, it was love, first sight. Now, I'll never meet her. I don't know anything about her. I probably never will, but it's just one of those things. You see somebody and boom, that's it. It's all over. And so I asked myself, I said, how can I dislike a country in which this beautiful woman lives? I can't. It's just... And the second thing I'm thinking is, how could North Korea produce this? I mean, we've been told that North Korea is a Stalinist state. And they use that Stalinist epithet in the worst sense of the word. The place is a concentration camp, is what we've been told. Cold, concrete, barbed wire, and a whole lot of people, being pushed around. Basically slaves to the state. And so how can this happen where we get the Murong Band? So that provided like an entree, a door that opened. And I started looking at, investigating. So, well, I need to look at this a little further. And I experienced what sociologists call a cognitive dissonance, where suddenly you realize that what you believed up to that point has been mostly wrong. And you got this old ingrained belief, and you meets head on with this new reality, and you have this friction. You go, what's going on? I'm confused. I'm disoriented. And that's how I felt. So wait a minute, a lot of what I've been told about North Korea is wrong. And so I had to, try to solve that problem. And that's what intrigued me, finding out the things that, that I had to unlearn. I mean, I wasn't looking at North Korea that seriously anyway. I really didn't have any interest in it, to tell you the truth. I had kind of watched when Kim Jong-il died. I believe he died on December 17th, 2011, and his son took over. I remember watching that and going, well, I don't think the guy stands a chance. He's so young. It's like 26 or 27. Those generals are going to eat him alive. And I was wrong about that, of course. And I've since learned why they haven't, which is an intriguing story all itself. But yeah, I got interested in the country, and I became intrigued. And, after all this stuff these people have been through, and mostly a lot of it is the hands of my country, the United States of America. So I do feel a certain amount of sympathy and remorse for what happened to them. And, I said, well, yeah, maybe in my small way, although I'm not a do-gooder, I'm not one of those people. I'm not a peaceniker or a do-gooder. But I say, in my small way, maybe I can kind of redress, rebalance the scales, redress some inequities or things that have gone wrong. But that's not the primary reason why I'm putting up this channel. The real reason is just because North Korea fascinates me. It fascinates a lot of people. But what's even more is how much people get it wrong. And how much we have to take a new perspective and look at it from a different angle. Too many people are viewing North Korea through the lens of their own prejudice. Where you have to kind of step aside and take a fresh look from another angle. For that reason, I'm not going to bash the country. I'm not going to say really bad things about it. Every country, I don't care where you go, it has its bad side. And there's a lot of countries in the world that are way worse off than North Korea. I mean, you look at Venezuela, for crying out loud, or Honduras. Bangladesh is no paradise. You go right down the list. You have Zimbabwe. So there's a lot of places in the Middle East, Yemen, Syria. So there's a lot of places that are far worse off than North Korea. And by the same token, I'm not going to bash Kim Jong-un. In fact, I kind of like the guy because he surprised me. He surprised a lot of people because, like I say, when he took over from his father, he looked so young. And I honestly thought, I said, man, this guy is not going to make it. And the fact that he did, and that how he did it, is really a kind of an interesting story. How he managed to pull it off. That is really, I watched him very closely. And, I got a good insight into, I think, how he thinks and, how his mind works in a way, at least as good as anybody can figure it out. So, yeah, I'm not gonna say bad things about the guy. I think he's probably doing a pretty good job. And I'm not going to analyze too much North Korean politics. I mean, I don't know enough about it. And so probably whatever I'd say, probably be wrong. And I don't like being wrong. I'll talk about the politics of my own country as it relates to North Korea. And I have a right to do that simply because I'm an American and I know a lot about it. So when I do that from that perspective, from an American perspective, discussing American politics, I'm going to be right 99% of the time. So I'm on safe ground there. And I'm not one of these peacenik people, or I don't believe in fundamental fairness or human rights. I don't want to go in the direction of human rights. That's a loaded concept, and it means whatever people want it to mean. Human rights is basically a baseball bat that some people use to beat other people over the head with. And I'm convinced that a lot of people, the majority of people that criticize North Korea, they only do it so they can feel better about themselves. And that's basically what bullies do. Bullies are basically insecure people. So if they can find somebody else to jump on, then it makes them feel a little better about themselves. And that's what most people that are bashing North Korea are doing anyway. They're just doing it so they can feel superior. Well, thank God I'm not them. I'm a better person. We're going to keep it light here. I'm not going to get too carried away. Let me say right up front that I'm not being paid by anybody. I'm taking money by anybody. I'm not being supported by any group, political group. I abhor groups. I'm not a joiner. That's like Groucho Marx said, I would hesitate to belong to any group that would accept me as a member. And their standards are that low. So, I don't, I'm just doing this as a hobby. It's something that interests me. And, maybe because my country was responsible for a lot of what North Korea has gone through, then maybe in a small way I can, redress a grievance, kind of, from my own perspective, maybe make things right a little bit, speak for these people. Because Koreans don't have a voice for themselves. So these people can't speak up for themselves. So, somebody has to. Somebody has to say, well, hey, and point to their accomplishments. The North Koreans have made a lot of great strides. They've done a lot of good things that they can be proud of. And somebody needs to point this out. So, that's kind of what I'm about here. And look at the history of the country. It's a very old country. It's, 5,000 years old. These people up there have been around for a long time. And then I'm fascinated with the art, with film, and of course the music interests me. They're very musical people. And so from that perspective, and like I say, we'll keep it light, we'll keep it fun. After all, Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il, here's pictures of them. They're always smiling. Kim Jong-un is always smiling. Kim Jong-un is like a world champion grinner. The guy can grin like nobody I've ever seen. So that's why we're going to just have some fun with this. We're not going to get too serious. I'm not going to get carried away with a lot of political nonsense. We'll just, have some fun with this, and that's the direction in which we're headed. So thanks for watching, and if you like, hit the subscribe button, because I'll be putting up a lot of good stuff here coming along. So, like I say, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the following videos.